Hi guys, it's Paul Pluter, the method actor who plays ArchieLuxury on the ArchieLuxury channel. Today guys, I want to make a video about a very serious topic. And today's topic is why Rolex dropped the Oyster bracelet on the GMT line of wrist watches. And before we start that, let's do a quick customary wristwatch check because I invented the wristwatch check. I'm wearing a Rolex Explorer 1. And by the way, guys, if you also are a YouTuber, can you please acknowledge the wristwatch check came from me? So if I've got Austin Daniels or anyone else out there who does wristwatch checks, could you at least acknowledge Archie's existence by saying, now we'll do the wristwatch check that Archie made famous? Give me a little bit of kudos. Okay, guys, I'm wearing the Explorer 1 39mm. I love it, and it's on an Oyster. I love the Oyster. So what exactly has happened? Well, it's a real stinker. A stinker. Rolex, in their wisdom, they released the Pepsi GMT last year, 2018, at Bezel World. And this year, Rolex themselves have dropped the black GMT ceramic, and they've adjusted the Batman to have only a Jubilee bracelet. What is going on? What the fuck is happening? Now, I'm very fortunate. I have a secret contact who actually works at Rolex, and he leaks information to me. And I'm very careful not to reveal his identity because otherwise I'm not going to get any more information. But why did Rolex phase out the Jubilee bracelet on the GMT line? And it's part of their strategy. See, what happened originally was, a bit of background history, Rolex originally made the watches, the heads of the watches, and you could order a variety of bracelets. You could get Oyster, you could get Jubilee, and you could also get presidential, the president bracelet. That's right. So the bracelet was actually an option after you decided on the watch. It was like saying, okay, what sort of Mercedes do you want to buy? And then picking the size of the wheels, for example. But it's kind of changed now. Things have really changed. And with the rollout of the sizing updates, where a lot of the 36 mils were brought up to speed, and the 40 mils were sort of tweaked to look bigger. For example, this Explorer 1 was originally 36 mil in the 1016, and also the 14270. It was updated to 39 mils. One thing Rolex did, which is it's the way of the land, is Rolex then started to discourage people to take the bracelets off. Before this, people would change NATOs, they would put leather straps on. It was all very common. But with the 39mm Explorer, I tried to put that 39mm Explorers, because it uses 20mm end links, I tried to fit this bracelet onto a Batman. No way. No can do. That's right. They've engineered these bracelets to only work. They don't want you to interchange them with different models. Now, it's a very fascinating approach to the whole idea itself. But what Rolex is trying to do is to establish a unique selling position for the GMT. The GMT itself there, the Rolex GMT Master 2, was kept at 40 mils, and it's very popular in the Asia Pacific region. So Rolex decided to standardize that on the Jubilee, which is a different Jubilee to the Datejust, because the Datejust Jubilee has a concealed clasp, whereas the sports Jubilees have the very prominent Oyster type clasp. So the answer is Rolex wants the Jubilee to be the 40 mil option, and if you want a bigger GMT function watch, well, the answer is simple: Rolex Explorer 2. That's right. So they want to differentiate the two. They want to really push the Explorer 2. The Explorer 2 in recent decades has been a little bit of an underling. In the 90s, it was the flavor of the month. It was more popular than the GMT to many. But as time has moved on, the GMTs have exploded. So Rolex, in their wisdom, decided to push the Explorer 2 to 42 mils, which is quite a nice size, because that is the size for overweight Americans and Europeans. That is correct. So they wanted to push the Jubilee to the Asian market and push the Oyster in the 42 mil line. Interestingly enough, with the Rolex Submariner, Rolex has said they want to keep it at 40 mil with the Oyster bracelet. The irony is that with the Black Bay, that's the Tudor offering, they've actually gone to 41.5 mils, and they've also made the height considerably more beefier than the Rolex Submariner offering. So why have they done this? Well, they really want the Explorer 2 to blossom. This is the reason. Internal Rolex information to me coming through secret sources is that Rolex really wants the GMT to flourish in Asia. So they've given it a sort of softer appeal with the Jubilee. They've also made the Oyster bracelet GMT option the Explorer 2. So that's really the hit and fast of the deal there. One thing that I was told by my secret source was that Rolex next year at Beaselworld is considering a steel no date offering on a rubber strap. That's right. Rolex themselves does realize that for many people, the aim of buying a Rolex has become an out of reach option. So Rolex wants to address that by bringing out the rubber Oyster Flex bracelet for a steel no date sports watch. Watch this space is the best advice I give you, but next year's Baselworld offering possibly has an example of this in steel. Rolex is currently testing this marketplace with the new Yachtmaster, which is a white gold offering with the Oyster Flex option, well, the Oyster Flex bracelet, because there is no option. That's the way you get it, Charlie. So the future, what does it hold? What is more likely to happen? Well, we're going to stay at 40 mil for the Submariner. We are going to remain the bigger option being the Sea Dweller. The Sea Dweller, which is now available in two-tone. Rolex sees the Submariner as being the ideal Asian option, whilst the Sea Dweller at 43 mils is perfect for the American and European markets. Hence the reason the Sea Dweller is now available in two-tone. The future for Rolex is going to be amazing. It is really going to be amazing. Rolex themselves there, they are really seeing the GMT as a more effeminate option. And I would like to tell you now the name for the Rolex Batman. The Batman on the Oyster, the traditional Batman, is the Batman on the Jubilee, it's going to be called the Bat Girl. Already inside Rolex, people refer to it as the Bat Girl. Rolex never acknowledges or denies these nicknames for their watches, but this is the honest truth. They wanted the Explorer 2 to succeed, and they felt the best way for this to happen was to have a model of GMT function watch, which is for the American market and one for the Asian market. Why did they choose the GMT for Asia and the Explorer 2 for the American market? And now this is strictly confidential. I'll get into big trouble for telling you this, but let me tell you this. They figured that with the lower IQ of Americans compared to Asians, the GMT function was already hard enough to work out. So a fixed bezel was easier for the less academically brilliant Americans to handle. Whereas because all the doctors, all the high paid positions generally are going to Asian and Indian students because of their brains and also their ability to work very, very hard, they decided that the complexity of the rotating bezel would be too hard for the lazy American market. Now, please, you cannot quote me on this. Don't tell anyone I've told you this. This is strictly confidential because I think Americans are very smart. I love Americans, and I got to say, I doubt this may have been said tongue in cheek. My secret source is very, he sends me some of the things I think are a little bit jokey at times, but hey, the secret source gives me information and I'm happy to run with it. So guys, that's the reason the GMT was no longer available on the Oyster bracelet. Guys, I'd like to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Am I crazy? Is the secret source just a complete mumbo jumble, or does the secret source hold any truth? Guys, please like, subscribe, tell your fuckwit friends, and put some nasty comments down below. And don't forget, guys, if you're from Rolex, this is non-existent. Secret source, please. I'm not going to name his name, and I'm going to add a few false facts so you can't work out who it is. So, guys, that's the way it is. Tell me what you think. Until next time, fuckers. See you next time, and keep wearing Rolex Steel Sports. Hi guys, Paul Pluta, the method actor who plays Archibald Chesterfield III. Guys, I want to tell you this is so important. Guys, I depend on my Patreon supporters. Just this week, I used my Patreon funds to get myself a fantastic, lightweight, gimbal travel camera. And I just want to say thank you. This was made possible because of my Patreons. The Patreons, they made this purchase possible. And it's, you know, a piece of equipment like this is $600, plus I need a few memory cards. It's such an expensive business. Guys, if you haven't sponsored me on Patreon, please do so. Look in the description for this video here. It'll tell you ways you can help me. Guys, help me stay full-time on YouTube making videos. By helping me on Patreon, you send a small amount each month to me to keep me enthused and making videos. I can buy equipment like this little gimbal camera. Guys, come on, help me a lot, help me very much so, because guys, I want your help. I need help to make quality content. And I got to be honest with you, if I didn't have your help, it's not going to be much good, guys. It's not going to be much good. I need your help to buy equipment and to do things. So guys, sponsor me on Patreon and I'll be here for you. That's right, I'll be here for you. Please, guys, help me on Patreon. See you later.
our friendships